Listen Up Girl podcast. I'm Zach Randles-Friedman. This is where we cut through the noise and bring you LGBTQ plus news and culture stories you actually need to know. Clearly, fact-checked, and all in one place. Today's episode spans pop music power struggles, escalating legal battles over gender-affirming care, mounting protests across the country, and culture war chaos colliding with Super Bowl. Our first story is Petras seeks exit from record label over album delays. Pop star Petras says she's done waiting. The 33-year-old singer has publicly asked to be released from her contract with Republic Records, claiming the label has delayed the release of her new album, which she says has been finished for 6 months. In posts shared on X, Petras also accused the label of withholding payments owed to some of her collaborators. Republic Records has been approached for comment but has not responded publicly. Petras rose to global fame in 2022 with Unholy, her chart-topping collaboration with Sam Smith, which made her the first openly transgender artist to win a major Grammy category. She's since worked with artists including David Guetta, The Chainsmokers, and Nicki Minaj, but Petras says her more recent work has struggled to gain traction. In 2024, she canceled all her summer festival appearances due to health issues and has been openly critical of how labels chase viral formulas. She accused the industry of prioritizing TikTok trends and what she called 80s revival queer baiting rather than supporting artists' full creative visions. Petras has also revealed she self-funded a music video for a single her label refused to release, a production featuring 9 different looks and 13 pairs of shoes. Despite the setbacks, she says she plans to release her upcoming album, reportedly titled Detour, with or without label backing. I'm tired of having no control of my own life or career, she says. I want to continue to self-fund and self-curate my own music. Next, Vermont moves to protect gender-affirming care funding. As federal threats escalate, Vermont lawmakers are taking proactive steps to protect access to gender-affirming health care. On January 6, 2026, legislators introduced House Bill H. 576, which would create Affirming Health Care Trust, a state-run funding mechanism designed to support gender-affirming services outside federal funding streams. The move comes amid growing pressure from the Trump administration, which has intensified efforts to withhold federal funding from hospitals that provide gender-affirming care to transgender youth. As a result, more than 20 hospital systems nationwide have reportedly halted or closed programs, including recent shutdowns in Colorado. If passed, Vermont's trust would be administered by the state treasurer and provided direct financial support to clinics, healthcare providers, and nonprofits delivering gender-affirming care. It would also help cover patient costs, fund new Vermont-based clinics, and provide malpractice and liability insurance for clinicians. The bill explicitly excludes conversion therapy and uninitiated surgical interventions on minors and variations in sex characteristics. Supporters say the legislation is about maintaining continuity of care as hospitals face increasing political and financial pressures. Our next story is Judge blocks DOJ demand for trans youth's personal data. A federal judge has blocked a Department of Justice subpoena demanding highly sensitive personal data from families of transgender youth, calling the request an undue burden with no legitimate investigative purpose. The DOJ had ordered Children's National Health Hospital in Washington, D.C. to turn over information on 8 families who received gender-affirming care between 2020 and 2025. The data included home addresses, social security numbers, medical diagnosis, prescription records, and parental consent documents. In a ruling issued on January 21st, U.S. District Judge Julie Rubin voided the subpoena, writing that it bore no plausible or coherent tether to any statutory investigation. She stated bluntly that the request appeared designed to intimidate and harass both hospital and families involved, calling it a classic, impermissible fishing expedition. The families had argued the subpoena violated their Fourth and Fifth Amendment rights a position the court ultimately agreed with. Our next story is protests erupt nationwide over anti-LGBTQ legislation. Across the country, LGBTQ plus communities are pushing back. In Florida, protesters gathered at the state capitol to oppose a slate of bills targeting LGBTQ plus people. Proposed measures include felony penalties and fines up to $100,000 for doctors and school counselors who recommend transition-related care to minors, bans on pride flags on government property, restrictions on pronouns used at work, what one lawmaker described as the most extreme and anti-trans bill yet. I'm anticipating a big fight, says State Representative Sarah Hayes, Utah's only out queer legislator who is married to a trans woman. What is going on in this world? Our next story is MAGA reacts to rumored Bad Bunny Super Bowl dress. Culture war chaos meets couture. Right-wing outrage is flaring over unconfirmed reports that Bad Bunny may wear a dress during the Super Bowl halftime show. Radar Alliance claims anonymous members of the artist's glam team say the look is meant to honor queer icons and deliver a political thunderbolt disguised as couture. The report has not yet been confirmed by Bad Bunny or the NFL, though it hasn't stopped online backlash or speculation from exploding. Whether the rumor proves true or not, the reaction alone underscores how gender expression remains a flashpoint in American culture. I think he is amazing for wanting to honor queer icons. And let me tell you about some of the MAGA posts that I've seen in this Facebook group about this. Like, I'm not watching this halftime show if he wears a dress. I'm not watching the halftime show because he's not American, even though he's Puerto Rican, which is part of America. And let me tell you what, people were coming back, were defending Bad Bunny and coming after these people. And like, oh, yeah, okay, maybe they'll just end the Super Bowl altogether since you don't want to watch it. People were coming back and clapping back so hard. I loved it. So good for you, Bad Bunny, and wear what you want. Wear a fucking bikini on stage if you want to. Who cares? Be you. Next, Minnesota business close in protest of ICE operations. In Minnesota, immigration enforcement sparked one of the largest coordinated protests in recent memory. Hundreds of Twin City businesses closed Friday in solidarity with demonstrators protesting an expanded ICE crackdown known as Operation Metro Surge. Organizers call for no work, no school, no shopping, dubbing a day of truth and freedom. Hundreds of thousands marched from U.S. Bank Stadium to Target Center, where a rally filled the arena. The protesters followed multiple alarming incidents, including the detention of a 2-year-old child with her father, the arrest of dozens of faith leaders at Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport, and allegations that ICE agents used a 5-year-old as bait to lure his father into custody. Vice President and eyeline-wearing J.D. Vance visited Minneapolis and blamed local authorities for rising tensions, while the city officials denied refusing cooperation. Community leaders are now calling on state officials to limit ICE operations and protect families from further harm. That's today's episode of Listen Up, Girl. From music industry power struggles to courts pushing back against government overreach and communities refusing to stay silent, these stories are all connected by one thing: who gets control over their bodies, lives, and futures. If you want more LGBTQ news without the doom scrolling, make sure you're following, subscribed, and sharing this show. I'm Zach, and thanks for listening. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you later this week with more LGBTQ plus news.